So any idea about how the navigation is done in SAP UFI? If I want to navigate from one view to another view, how the navigation is performed? Okay. Okay, let me try to explain you. So what is the router and navigation? So SAP UFI offers a hash based navigation. It's a kind of hash base. Hash means it is a hash based navigation. Okay, so means whenever you navigate to the second page, so in the URL you can check, right, there is a hash. So what it uses the hash in order to navigate to the navigate to the second screen, and using that thing, using the hash framework, you don't have, means browser doesn't reload the pages. Okay, so browser does not have to reload the page. Instead of that, using the function callback, they simply change the content of the view. That's it. So using what happens, suppose you take you should be able to build the one page application using this hash base. And second thing, a browser does not have to reload the page. Instead, there is a callback to which the app and especially the affected view can react. And in order to achieve that, SAP UFI uses the crossroad.js for parsing the hash, and the hasher framework for manipulating the hash. So these are the two techniques used by the SAP UFI in order to do the routing and navigation. That's it. Okay, so suppose how the routing works. So routing works with the help of there is one API class like the sap.m.routing.router. So this is a class which helps us for the navigation purpose in SAP UFI framework. Okay, so SAP UFI uses the sap.m.routing.router class. So this is a class which helps us in order to navigate from one view to other view. Okay, so what I will do, so this is my new application, right? So in this new application, we have first the view name, right? So this view name, always remember that the initial view has to be kept as a root view. Okay, you don't have to do anything in this view. Just make sure that to keep this view as a root view. Never create anything in this view. I'll make it as the root view. Okay, so root view under which all the other views will come. So this is the initial view, root view. I can keep it as, just click next. So I'll open it in the new tab. So what is the routing and navigation? So routing is nothing but if I want to navigate from one page to another page, and that everything is happened with the help of hash. SAP UFI uses the hash in order to do the navigation. Okay, so let me try to open this. Okay, just I will expand manifest. So always remember your everything, the navigation, whatever the views you create, the routes, targets, the configuration, uh, the routing configuration, everything is maintained in the file manifest.json. It is a main file where everything, the configuration, the routing related configuration can be maintained. Okay, so if I want to so this is a namespace. Okay, so everything, so routing it is a namespace which comes under the SAP.UEFI namespace. It is the standard, you don't have to maintain it. By default, when you create an application, it will be maintained automatically. Okay, but the structure is the routing, it's a routing namespace, and inside and the routing is comes under the namespace SAP.UEFI, and inside of that we do have the config. So routing section itself contains the three or four parts, that is the config, the routes, and the targets. Okay, so this is the configuration section which will be used throughout the application. Okay, so it is not for specific to one view, it's this configuration is related to the whole application. Once you configure it, it will be used throughout the application. Okay, so inside the config there is a router class. So this is the router class the SAP UEFI uses in order to do the navigation and routing. Okay, sap.m.routing.router. So this is a class you have to remember. In the interviews normally ask how the routing is performed and how the navigation is done. So you can tell the interviewer that so routing is done with the help of the router class, that is sap.m.routing.router. Okay, so whatever the views we normally use is the XML of type. Okay, so that is nothing but a view type. Then we have the async. Async means the view will not depend on any view, so the resources will be loaded in a background. And then we have the view path. So what is a view path? View path is nothing but where all views are stored, right? It's in a folder view, so that's why it is a path of view where all the views are stored. And then we have the control aggregation. So what is control aggregation? So control aggregation is nothing but it is a place where all the views are comes under. Okay, so for control aggregation we do have the pages. So pages is the aggregation where all the views are kept. Okay, then we have the control ID. So control ID is nothing but it's associated with the control aggregation, right? So the control ID is associated with the control aggregation because I'll tell you the structure. See, we do have the app, right? So app is nothing but it's a control ID for the app, and under which the pages come. So under pages all the views are come. So whenever you create whenever you navigate to the view, it's come under the aggregation, that is the pages, and the pages will come under the aggregation as an app in a control ID. So that is nothing but a control ID. So what is a clear control aggregation? So before you create a new instance for the routing, suppose it has to be clear, so in that case you will set the clear control aggregation as a false. So you don't have to mess with it, it's by default a false only. Okay, so this is related to the configuration section. So configuration, you understood what is a configuration? It's manually, you don't have to do anything, it's already there in manifest.json. When you create an application using the default template, that is the sap.UEFI template, so by default this configuration will be created. Okay, so I'll tell you what configuration we need to maintain in order to create a views. So once we move ahead, so then we have the routes. So routes is nothing but where all the important things are maintained related to each view. Okay, so what is the name? Name is nothing but it's a unique name for the routing. with the help of this name you will navigate to the next view. This name is very important property in the navigation perspective. Whatever the name is assigned, that name you have to give in order to navigate. Then only the routing is done properly. So name is nothing but, in whole project the name should be the unique for each and every route. And then we have the pattern. So pattern is nothing but which will be displayed in the top bar. Okay, suppose I am taking this index.html. so index.html, it's nothing but it's a pattern. So whatever the pattern you will see after the hash, that is nothing but a pattern. And then we have the target. So each target is associated with the each routes. Okay, suppose I'm having the one view, right? So this is the route. By default the SAP assigns the route as a default route view. So it's automatically assigns the route. You don't have to do anything. So this is the view we created, route view. So for each route view we do have the associated targets, right? So it directly point out to the view. So my view ID is route view and the view name is route view, right? Because the route view is the view which created. So for each route one associated target would be there. Okay, then we have the route view, right? Because the route view, it's nothing but it's a default view, and by default whenever you create any application, so first I recommend you not to do anything in this route view. Okay, just create a new view and in that view you can write rest of the code. Always keep your route view as a root so that everything can be managed from here. So this is our root view, and the ID is also root view. So we have to change this ID. What is the ID? ID is our app. So this is our app. We have to give the ID of control, nothing but the app. I'll simply change it in order to perform a simple navigation. Otherwise the navigation will not perform. Okay, so for the root view we do have the ID. So whenever you will create a new application, you need to go to the manifest.json and please check your root view. Once you check the root view, and please rename the ID of rename the ID in the root view. That's it. And which ID you have to assign? It is of app. Once you've done it, then what we will do, we will create a new view, right? So in order to create a new view, simply right click on it, new file. I'll give the view name as a first page dot with the extension view dot xml. Okay, so the name for the creating the view file is the first page dot view dot xml. Okay, if I press OK, so our view is created. So again I'll create a same controller file for that view, because we already know that a view is already associated with a controller file. So I'll create a same with the same name as a controller file. So I'll write first page dot with the extension controller dot js. So once we do, so our first page view and page is the controller part is created. Then what I will do, I'll simply copy all these things. So I'll paste in it in the view part. Okay, so I'll remove I'll remove this ID. Okay, I'll save the page one, because ID should be unique throughout the application. Okay, so there is a controller name, right? So we have copied this code from the root view because the root view's controller is root view. So but in our case, for the first page, our controller is what? The first page. So I'll change it, first page. That's it. Okay, so I'll write the code. Okay, welcome to first page. Then once I create a view and the controller file, then I need to go to the manifest.json file. Once I navigate to the manifest.json file, then I have to define the routes in the route section and in the target section too. Okay, so for that I'll copy this and I'll put a comma, then again I will paste it. So what is the name? So what I will recommend, try to keep the name and pattern as the same in order to avoid the confusion. Okay, so I'll give the same name, name and pattern. I will give the same name, whatever the name I have given to the view, that is the first page. Okay, and the same first page. Okay, so now the routes are created. Okay, and each route is associated with each view. Always remember, whenever you will create a new view, first you will make sure that you will navigate to the manifest.json, and once you navigate, you will create a route for that specific view. And once you define the route, then you need to define the targets. So target, so we do have it's already there, the target root view. So I'll define the target for first page. Okay, so once I define the target for the first page, so what I will do, I will copy the same for the target perspective for creating the target for the first page. I'll give the comma and I'll paste it. Okay, so our target name is target first page. I'll copy this, I'll paste it here. Okay, because this route will target to this, then only. So in target there is a view type. Yes, the view type is of XML, and the transition is nothing but the animation you have to see at the time of navigation. Suppose you want the flip type of animations. Suppose I'll remove this. So there are 4 types of animation: fade, flip, show, and slide. So fade means nothing but it will give some kind of animation effect when you navigate to the next view. So there are multiple animations which are already available. You can simply use for that as a transition purpose. I'll keep the slide only. So clear control aggregation, it's not required. Then we have the view ID. So view ID would be a same. I'll use the same one. Okay, view ID and view name. So view name is nothing but the name of view, the first page dot view dot XML, and view ID is try to give the same name. Okay, so once I define the route, so what I need to do, so always remember one thing. So my default view is a root view, right? Because initially whatever the views you create at the time of project creation, that would be only visible when you run your application, right? Suppose this is a root view only. But what I recommend that not to use the root view for any development. Keep it as a root view. So in order to make your first page to appear when you reload the application, suppose if I'm executing this application, I want the first page to be displayed rather than the root view. So in that case, so first page pattern should be empty. Okay, so if you find any project and if you identified in a manifest.json file the pattern is empty, then it's then you can identify that the first page would be the page at when you run in when you run any application. So at the time of running, the first page that would be displayed is the first page only. That's it. Whatever the page name would be, so that page will be executed first, not others. So that's why when you identify in a manifest.json file, if the pattern is empty, then that page will be executed first. Okay. So what we have done in the route section, we have defined the routes for our first page .view.xml, and then we also defined the targets. Okay. So for each route, a target is associated with it. Always remember this. Okay. So once I done this, so I have to also copy the controller part from the root view. I'll copy this, I'll paste it in the first page. So only I will change the name, the root, instead of root view, because the controller.extend. So instead of giving the root view, I'll give the first page. That's it. Okay. So once my controller and the view part is ready, then how it works? So there is a one component.js file. So in previous version, we have explicitly we have to define this .getRouter.initialize in order to the navigation to work. Okay, but as of now, so as we are getting the latest upgrade to this SAP UFI versions, so by default when you create an application, so it's already the router is initialized. Okay, so you don't have to initialize this, but you at least you can keep this in your mind that in order to initialize the router, so this is the syntax, this .getRouter.initialize. Get router will get the information and it will initialize. Once you initialize, the navigation can be done easily. Okay, so this is the first step, enable routing. For enabling the routing, this is the syntax, this .getRouter.initialize. So it's already there in the component.js. Okay, once you initialize this, so the next step, what I will do, I want to navigate from the first page to the second page, right? So this is our first page. So let's create one more page in order to understand the navigation. I'll create the second page. Second page dot view.xml. So I'll create a controller for it. Second page dot controller.js. Okay, one is a JS file and one is a XML file. I'll copy the same code for the second, but only I'll change the controller name, second page, and same I'll change the ID of page also, because the ID should be unique throughout the application. So for controller part, I'll copy the code from the controller and I'll change second page. That's it. Okay, so I've defined the view and controller part, and then I have to then I can open the manifest.json file. So what I've already told you, that for each view the route should be maintained and also the target. So I'll copy the same. I'll copy this. I'll paste it. So what is the name I can give? I can give the second page. But for this time, I will not make the pattern as empty. I will define the pattern same as the name. Okay, because I don't want this second page to be displayed when the application is executed. Okay, every time my application is loaded, at the initial I want first page to be executed first rather than the second page. Okay, so for that what I've done, I've just kept the pattern as an empty. If the pattern is an empty string, then you must identify it as the always the first page will be executed, not the second page. So that's why in order to avoid such kind of the condition, I've given the pattern to the second page. So this will be executed when you will do the navigation from the first page. Okay, it's not necessary, you can define any pages in this, and based on the whatever the nav2 you do, that page will be navigated or that page will be displayed. So once I define the route, same I will define the target navigation. So I have to change this target. This is for second. Okay, I'll copy this, copy, I'll paste. So this is my target for the second page. I'll copy, so I'll keep the rest as it is, but only I will change the view name, that is the second page. Copy the same. Okay, save it. So so I've defined the two views, the page one, the first page and the second page, right? So now I have to do the navigation. So what I have to do, I have to navigate it from the first page to the second page. First I'll create a button, because how will you navigate? So navigation can be done based on any event, right? If event is fire, then only you have to navigate. Unnecessary, why you need to navigate to the second page? So let's give the text it as a next. Okay, so I'll give the press event. Handle navigation. Okay, so I'll copy this. Okay, instead of first I'll run this application to make sure that which view we can see first. I'll go and first create a run configuration. Okay, so what I can see which page I can see, the first page, not the root view. Why? Because we have kept the pattern as an empty in the routes, this pattern. That's why the first page is displayed rather than the root view. Got it? Any doubt so far? Any questions?
Avinash,
Yes.
if we want to add one more page, then we have to give to the pattern name as a third page. Only the first page will be remain blank.
Yeah. So sorry, I didn't get. Can you please say it again?
Okay, so what we have done, total we have a main page, first page and second page, right?
Yeah.
To navigate to the first page, we have kept pattern as a empty.
Yes.
Because we want first page to be displayed, right? Then the second page. And what if I want to add one more page, like a third page? Okay, third view. Okay, in that case we have to give the pattern name, it is as a third page, right? Only at the time of first page we need to load, that time we have to kept it as a empty, right?
Yes, yes. Whatever the page
Okay.
you want to display it first, that pattern should be empty, and rest
Okay.
each and every pattern should be filled. Otherwise, it will not work. There might be
Okay.
create issue in the navigation.
Okay.
Okay. So my first page is executed. So I'll keep this button in the footer. Mm. Okay. So let's refresh it. Okay, I can see the welcome to first page, and I can see the button in the footer. So what I have to do, when I press on this button, the next, I need to display the second page, right? So in order to achieve this, so first we will define the text in the second page in order to identify whether the view is executed or not, right? Welcome to second page. Okay, so how the navigation is performed. So what I have to do, so I have given a function name as a handle navigation. So I'll copy this. So I will define in the controller. So once I declare this function, so first I will take a one local variable, ORouter. You can take any variable, but it's better to take the ORouter. At least you will get to know that this is a variable. So next, what you need to do, you need to get the UI component. So general syntax in order to initialize the router or in order to get the information from the router. So this is the syntax: sfp dot ui dot core dot ui component. Okay, ui component dot get router for, and you need to pass this, okay, current view. So it will get the information of the routing. So once we get the information of routing, so ORouter dot nav2, that's it. Nav2, it is a method which it takes the two parameter. First is the view name, to which view you have to navigate, and second is the data if you want to pass from the first view to the second view. Okay, so as of now I don't want to pass any data to the second page, so I can simply give the name, specify the view name to which I have to navigate. Okay, so what is the view name I have to navigate? It is the second page. So what so which name I have to give? So name, so just go to the manifest.json. So this is the name. So the whatever the values assigned to this name property, that name should be passed in the nav2 function. Okay, whatever the name you give to this name property, that name has to be passed to the nav2 method as a parameter. Then only it will work. Suppose if you have given the name as of suppose I'm giving the first p, and you have given the name as the suppose this is the controller, and I'm giving the name as a second page. That's it. Will it work? It will not work. Okay, so when I press next, see, still it will work. Why? Any reason, any idea about this? Why it works?
But you changed the first page name, right? Not second page name.
Yes, yes. That's why. But it will, how the routing is done, routing has been, means is already been, ha, I missed it. Okay, you got it. It should not work, first thing. Okay, so what I've done, I've changed the name property, and this name is very important. If you are not passing this name value, and if you are passing a different value rather than this name, then it will not work. If I've suppose I've given the name as a second p, and for in controller I'm trying to pass the parameter as a second page. So there is a basic difference between both of these words. Okay, so what I will do, I will just navigate back and I'll refresh. Okay, so this is my first page. So if I press on next, see, it will not work, right? So this is the thing. So in order that your navigation to be it should be working properly, so in that case, whatever the name is specified in the name property, that name you have to use it. That's it. I'll copy this name, I'll paste, it's already there. Okay, let's save. Okay, so once I click on next, it will navigate to the second page. So in the header you can see there is a hash. Why? Because SAP UFI uses the hash based navigation, and then we have the slash, and whatever the pattern you give, that pattern is displayed in the URL. Okay, so this second page is nothing but it's a pattern which you already defined in the manifest.json file. So this pattern is displayed in the URL, and this second page is used for the navigation purpose with the help of method nav2, and this target is nothing but it helps us to load that view with the help of this view ID and view name. Got it? Simple navigation. Any questions? Okay, so every time if you want to navigate from the first view to second view, first you will get the information with the help of this syntax using the scp.ui.core.ui component dot get router for, and in bracket you need to pass this, and once you pass this, once you get the router information, then you need to call the method nav2, and in nav2 the first parameter would be the page. The page name is nothing but the name, it is the name properties value. So once you pass the name properties value, then only your navigation will work perfectly. Okay, so that is the simple navigation I've done from the one view to the second view. That's it. So next I will show you how to pass the data from the first view to the second view, right? Because what if I need to pass the data from the one view to the second view? Is it possible to pass the data? Because that is required, right? Suppose for this, suppose let's take a simple the list item, whatever we have developed till now, right? The voters one. For the voters one, the voters list, I want to pass the Alex information to the next view. So in that case, how can I do that? It's very simple. So first thing, I have to go to the controller file. Okay. So nav2 will always take the two parameters, means By default, the first parameter is it is sufficient. But if you want to pass the data, then you can simply give the comma, and whatever the data you passed, you will pass it in a curly braces format, in object format. So this object format would be nothing but whatever the data you will pass, that data should be the dynamic one, right? Because it will change. Whatever the, I don't want the fixed data to be passed every time. The data has to be dynamic. So whatever the data, you can give any name. Okay, I can give any name, or I can, if I'm not giving the double quote, still it will work. Suppose I'm giving the name, I'm passing this, I want to pass this value to the second page. Okay, so what I've done, I've defined the second parameter in the curly braces in an object format. So this is a property name and this is the value for that property name. Okay, next thing I have to do, I have to go to the manifest.json file. Once I navigate to the manifest.json file, I have to give the slash and then curly braces. So in this curly brace, what it will take? It will take the property name which I have defined. Okay, so this is the name, this is the property name which I have defined, and this property name is holding the value Suresh. So if I want to pass this value from the first page to the second, I'll copy this property name and I'll go to the manifest.json file and I'll simply paste it inside the curly braces. That's it. Okay, so that is the navigation. So let me try to, we will check this output in the URL. Okay, so once I press on next, we have to inspect it because we have not defined anything to take the output. Where is the first controller? Okay, so once I do the nav2, I have to, so always remember there is a two kind of the methods which are present in this navigation. So first thing, the person who will give the output, and the person who is the next person who will take the output, right? So there is some kind of a set and the get. Okay, if I'm giving something, then there should be a person who will taking something, right? So that second person is the second page, so it will take something from the first page. So in order to take, I'll simply write the function in the second page. So second page controller. So what you have to do, you have to give okay, so this is the second page. So I have to first same thing I have to do for the same whatever I have done for the page 1. So first I have to get the router, right? So that I will copy and paste it in the this one on init function. Okay, the second page on init, I have to write this code. You will not write in anywhere. First you write the code in on init. Once I declare the router, then I'll write o router dot get route. Which route? It's a second page route. I'll copy this, I'll paste it, second page dot attach pattern match. Okay, so this is the function. It will trigger when the pattern changes, that is when the browser pattern changes in the URL, so this event will be triggered automatically, and it takes the two parameters. The first thing is the function name, which will be called. So in order to call any function, every time you need to use the this dot the function name on route match. You can give any name in this. It's a custom name, and this function will be triggered when the pattern will change, when the pattern changes in the URL. Okay, so what I've done, I've attached the pattern match method to this route. So when I get the second page, so this event will be triggered, and once the event will be triggered, it will call this function on route match, and the second parameter it take the page instance this. Okay, so once after the on init, I'll copy this method function. I'll write a function o event. So o event will return us the value whichever it is passed. Okay, so as of now I want to debug it, so I'll write o event the data I want from the first page. So I'll take this and we will inspect it. We will inspect this in the console. So I'll write the debugger so that our debugger point will be set. Okay, so what I've done, I've defined the name. Oh, sorry, what? Okay, so what I've done one big mistake, right? So what is the mistake? Can you tell me? If I want to pass a data from first view to the second view, and the data will be passed in the URL, then where should I give that slash the curly braces name? Should I give it in a name property or a pattern property? Where?
Hello?
Yeah, Suresh?
Yeah, can you please repeat that question again? Because see, the thing is like, see, we are sending the name details from first page to second page, but in the first page you are not, you are sending the data, and in the second page you are getting the data. For that you have declared it in name property.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm saying, so name and pattern. So these are two properties, right? Name and pattern. So is the name values are displayed in the URL, or the patterns values are displayed in the URL?
Pattern values.
Yes, pattern values. So where I should so where should I pass the where I should pass these parameter values? In a pattern, right? Because the name will not carry this, pattern will carry. So in order to pass this, I have to remove from the name and I have to pass it in the pattern, then only it will work. Okay, so always remember one thing, so never pass the parameter values in the name property. Pass the parameter values in the pattern part. This is nothing but it's a parameter, because I want to pass the values from one view to another view. So this is a navigation with the parameters. It's kind of navigation with parameters. Okay, so once I done, so let me try to refresh this. I'll tell you how it looks, so you can find out the names. Okay. So I've already set the debugger so that I can identify. So if I press on next, okay, so my page will navigate, right? So once my page is navigated to the second page, so this is the second page, right? You can see in the URL, first the hash, then the slash, then this is the second page name. So this name is nothing but it's a pattern slash and the name which the value which I have passed, right? This is the value I have passed. So if I want to get this value, so what is this value? So this value I have passed in the controller with the property name. So this value I want to get this from this event. Okay, so automatically this on route match, this function will be triggered whenever the hash changes. Okay, so once the hash changes, what I've done in the attach pattern match method, I've passed the function name as the first parameter, and this is the reference for the current controller, that is our current view is second page. So this function will be triggered, and once the function is triggered, I can see the debugger at the line number 16 because I have set the debugger. So if I want to get the value, the Suresh value, so how I will do this, I'll simply copy the O event, just navigate to the console, paste the O event. So in O event you will write method that is dot get parameter. In parameter I want to get the arguments, right? So this is the arguments I'm passing, and I can simply write name. That's it. So this is the name which I pass from the first view. Okay, so this is a general syntax for getting the values from the first page to the second page. Okay, so I'll copy this, I'll go to the second page controller and I'll paste it. Okay, using the SAP .m message stores.show, I'll display the value. That's it. Okay, so I'll remove the debugger, so I'll refresh. Okay, so when I click on next, see, I can see the name Suresh in the message stores, whichever I've passed from the first view to the second view. Got it? Any questions?
No.
Okay, so it was easy or hard to understand? So hard is only you just need to remember this line of code, this line of code and this line of code. Okay, so this line of code is same for performing the navigation, but for the second page, whichever the page will accept the input from the first page. So for that page only I have to write this code, orouter.getRoute. So this is the name. So again, this is the name. It's not a pattern. It is the name, view's name, and then I have the function that is the attach pattern match. So this function will trigger when this pattern will match. Okay, so that is, so first parameter it takes, this is the function, so it will always trigger whenever you will navigate from the first view to the second view. And then I have passed the page reference, the current view's reference. That's it. So once I pass, so if I want to get the value, so O event dot get parameter. So get parameter, it is a method. So I will just pass the arguments, and after arguments I can simply give the name, because its name is nothing but it is in an object format, right? So that's why I've given the dot name. So whatever the value will be stored in the data variable, and finally I've displayed it on the browser. That's it. Okay, so start the practice. So we do have half an hour left. So do one thing. So what you will do, first you will create a project, and so initial whatever the view name you will give that view name as a root view or the main view. Not main view, you will keep it as a root view. Okay, and then after that you will create a 3 views, 1 2 3. Okay, 3 views, first page, second page and third page. And once you create the 3 pages, then you have to navigate from the first view to the second, from the first to second and second to third. And initially always display the first page, not the root view. Okay, while executing the application, when the application is executed in the browser, I can see the first page, not the root view. Okay, then open your the DS and try to implement this. Okay, I'm got it or not?
Yes.
Yeah, create the 3 views, and once you create the views, you can simply find out the code. So this is the code for the simple navigation. If you want to pass the data, then only you will use this, otherwise it is not required. If you use this, then always it will means it's necessary to define the parameter in the navigation. If you are specifying the if you are not specifying the parameter in the manifest.json and you are passing the data in this, then you will get an error. It will not work. Navigation will not work. It's necessary, if you want to pass the data, then it's necessary to define the parameter in the manifest.json file. Okay, like this. And that should be defined in a pattern, not in the name. It should be defined in the pattern, because the pattern is nothing but it is been reflected in the URL, not the name. And name should be the unique. Suppose this name is the first page, and for this also route I'm giving the same, the first page, then it will not work. It will create a issue. The navigation will not work properly. Okay, then let's practice it. And so once you complete this,